Hey YouTube, Rail here, back with another daily devlog for the R-Cube engine. We're working on our gltf reader here still. We're working on getting the indices out of the file, which should give us the number of times we need to use each of the positions that we've got out of the file earlier. And I think, let's see, for this model, we've got position 0 and then position 4, which has 20 and then 30. So there's 50 different points in space. But then to draw all of the faces, which are all triangles, because we did that triangulate thing with Blender. Then we've got, let's see, indices are at 3 and then 7. So let's see, 20 and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 20 and 12, so 32 points. And then indices are at 3, 30, and 7, 12. So 42 actual, let's say vertexes in the mesh when we put everything together. So it should be, I think, 10 more data points. So what that also means is that because we need to get out of our accessors, we need to get the component type and then the count. I thought we would just be able to read them blindly because we'd always be reading 3 numbers out. I'll just get the position out. But since we need to get the index out, we also need to get the data type for the accessor. So I'm rewriting that a little bit so we can get the vec3 out as well as get the scalar out. I wish I knew a better way to do this rather than just writing code that is specific to that data length. I could do it when I did my zip file reader. I took a lot of design from c.puff, which is a simple uh, single file zip reader. And there's a bit reader thing in that where it reads a variable amount of data. I think it's like 1 up to, did it do up to 16 or was it just 1 byte? I don't remember, but it could read, just 1 bit or more out of a data stream. But I think you were always getting just 1 byte maximum, 255 maximum, and then matching that up to another symbol table. So I guess you could do a byte reader on both sides. Maybe I'll try that out at some point. But for right now, we're just going to do type-specific readers for the bin. So yeah, we're going to redo this gltf accessor. We'll get the component type and the type out, and then we'll go and we'll read the buffer view, which will give us the byte length and the byte offset. And that's already how that works down here. Well, you probably can't read that, YouTube, but trust me, there's a buffer reader that gets the byte offset and the byte length. So yeah, reorganizing everything there. JSON read buffer is probably actually going to have to move into an earlier function too. But yeah, just continuing to work on that, making progress. A little bit slow today. We'll talk about some non-R-Cube related things that are just fun to talk about. So let's see. Oop. So I've got, oh, did I just, okay, I don't think I messed that up. Okay. There we go. So this, let's try and zoom in here. Control and let's see, plus. Hey, uh-oh. Okay. So this is the data hand, which is, see if we can zoom in on that a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, which is a keyboard that's mostly designed, yeah, to stop your fingers moving, which should, in theory, then prevent carpal tunnel. I don't know if that's really supported by any kind of science, but it just kind of makes sense if, you're not moving your wrists, then it shouldn't give you repetitive stress injuries in your wrists, I hope. And also, it just looks very cool. Um, so these were only made for a very limited period of time. Let's see, 1995 to 2008, it looks like here. And they stopped selling them April 2010. So it looks like there was maybe a second run here in 2009. So then, oh, and they even talk about here. So there's the svalboard. So I knew about the data hand, and then I found out about this, which is the LAL board, I think it's called, which is a 3D printed data hand. And there's a bunch of different projects like this that are very cool. I was following them for a while. And then there was this one here, the svalboard. And I ended up, let's see if we can, I got one of these. So it's a data hand, but then it also has a trackball here. And there's two of them. I'm just going to leave the other one here on the desk so that I don't throw everything off. Um, but I've been very slow today because I've been using this keyboard, but I gotta say, despite the learning curve, I'm really, really enjoying it. I've always really liked the idea of, never leave the keyboard, never let your fingers leave the keys as a way to just help your focus. I definitely need help with my focus. But that also kind of brings out this idea that, like, the mouse is the enemy. And I mean, the mouse isn't as good as the keyboard, but it's not, I don't hate it. So being able to keep your fingers on the keys, but also have a mouse when you need it, has been very, very great. I'm a big fan of it. Um, it's a very expensive keyboard though. I bought this keyboard right before I unexpectedly left my last job, so the timing of the purchase was not awesome, but the keyboard itself, very awesome. So there's that I thought was fun. And then we also had our first person join the Discord, and they showed us this little game engine here, zgameeditor, which looks pretty interesting to me. It creates tiny games that have a redistributable of only 64 KB or less. That's like crazy tiny. And it makes me want to check and see. I wonder if, let's see how big. Where's my build file? Come here. Bu, bu, bu. rcube.exe is 172 KB, but then we also need to look at our DLL. Let's look at our date modified. Asset packer rcube.dll, 158 KB. So that is 320 KB total. So this is like 1/6 the size of our project, and our project is going to get much larger. And it sounds like this also includes the assets for zgameeditor if it's all procedurally generated. So if we count our assets, I'm sure that would also make it much larger. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to read up on this more. It looks like you can get the source code too. I may go and read the source code on this. I likely won't have time to really play around with it because I'm so focused on R-cube coding, but very interesting project. So I wanted to share that and give it a shout out here. So yeah, not as good. Code progress could have been faster just due to typing slowness, but I'm sure that that will get better as time goes on. So we will continue programming, continue working on the asset packer. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, YouTube. If you have any questions for us, you can join our Discord. There's a link in the thing down there. Thanks for stopping by and have a good one, YouTube.